Hey everybody, sorry I'm not there today. As you can see by the timestamp, it's 5 in the morning. So yeah, I was not anticipating being out today, but I am, and that's okay. So here's what you guys need to do today. Kind of have a list of things to do today. Well, first off, I guess I should make the announcement. The quiz is now going to be on Wednesday. Okay, so that some of you will be very happy about. The quiz that was scheduled for Tuesday is obviously going to be on Wednesday. Okay, so in to review for this quiz, I'd like to do a couple of things. The first thing I want to do is go over a warm up with you, so you can already go ahead and get out a scrap piece of paper, or not a scrap piece of paper, just a piece of paper. I'm going to have you write down 5 problems, and I actually want you to do them and try your best on them, and then pause and play the video and go over them. I told I put in the sub notes that if you guys say that you have everything done already and are quick to stop watching the video, that he can actually check that warm up. So he might ask you to see it if you're goofing off or something. So make sure you're writing that down on a separate sheet of paper. The second thing that I would like to go over is the quick review that we did in class on Friday. Some of you guys got 100% on that, so you won't need to, watch too in depth on that one. But a lot of you need those answers shown to you. And then the third thing I would like to go over is just some questions from the review. Yeah. Because I know a lot of you were struggling on the first couple questions of the review. Now, that test review that was scheduled to be due today, after you are done with all of this stuff, I am going to suggest that you catch up on any missing assignments. That includes this review. If you had not done that test review, that is a very important assignment. So you need to do that test review. So if you did not use your time wisely this weekend and you did not get that test review done, that needs to be done in class today. Okay. I also told the sub that, if you say you have nothing to do, that is another thing that he can check. Make sure you got that test review done. Because if not, I'm going to be pretty upset with you tomorrow. Now, lastly, if you'd like to, there is a coloring sheet. This is completely optional. However, if you get this coloring sheet done, I will give you some bonus points on tomorrow's quiz. Now, what does the coloring sheet look like? I'm going to explain that ahead of time. So the coloring sheet looks like this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 different trinomials that you have to factor. Notice that they're all hard type trinomials. They all have a number out front. So if you factor them, you're obviously going to get 2 binomials. Now, if you look down here, let me zoom in a little bit. If you look down here, so say you factored trinomial A and you got your 2 binomials. Then you go down here and you look for, the 2 binomials. One of them is going to be up here with a number, and one of them is going to be down here with a color. So say you got the 2 binomials, 3x plus 2, 3x plus 4. It's probably not that answer. I'm just guessing at that. So then you would say, okay, for trinomial A, you got 1 red. That means that you come down here to your coloring sheet, and then all the 1s you color red. Okay, so say now you factored trinomial B, and maybe you came down here and you said, okay, well, trinomial B factored into x minus 1, 5x minus 1. Okay, that means for trinomial B, you got 2 orange. That means all the 2s would be orange in this. All right. Okay, so that kind of explains that. So I'd like everybody on their separate sheet of paper to go ahead and do these 5 problems. I want you to pause the video now and do all 5 problems. No exceptions. Everything should be written on a separate sheet of paper. Play the video when you're ready. Okay. So hopefully we all put it on a separate sheet of paper. I'm just going to move some things down a little bit. Okay. All right, so the first thing I want to do here is factor by GCF, okay? Remember, this is when we said, okay, what is our GCF? Define what our GCF is, and then divide it out. So what is our GCF in this case? Well, look at everything that these are divisible by. So I've got 16, 24, and 21. Can I divide 16, 24, and 21 by the same number? Well, look at 21. I can only divide 21 by 3 and 7. Can I divide 24 by 3? Yep. But can I divide 16 by 3? No. Can I divide 21 by 7? Yes. 24 by 7? No. So none of these numbers have a common factor other than 1. So then you look at the variables. Oh, well, they do all have an x in common. So that means my GCF is only an x. Look at to the first power as well, right? You always look for the smallest power of that variable. Okay, so now we put it on the outside and we divide it out. So this one's kind of an easier one in the fact that all I'm doing is just dividing out an x, taking one of the x's out, leaving the number the same, dropping down the power, leaving the number the same, dropping down the power, leaving the number the same, and taking out the variable. So that's my answer. How do I know I can stop there? Well, I just tell you to factor by GCF. You don't need to work with that trinomial at all. Okay, same thing up here. I'm going to put the GCF up here, though. Okay, so what is the GCF in this case? Well, notice that these are all divisible by 2. So my GCF, move that over. My GCF is a 2. The number part of the GCF is a 2. And now we look at all the variables. Okay, look, they all have an a in common. So I'm going to write an a, and my smallest power on a, it looks like, is an a squared. And then they also all have a b in common, but the power on my b is just a 1, right? So now we divide that out. We factor it out. 2a squared b is my GCF. So I divide it out of each term. All right, so 4 divided, now I come down here and I say, okay, 4 divided by 2 is 2. A squared, took those all out. B to the 5th divided by b to the 1st is a b to the 4th. So no more a's in that first term. 2 divided by 2 is 1. A to the 4th divided by a squared is an a squared. B to the 3rd over b to the 1st is a b squared. There's my second term. Last term, 10 divided by 2 is 5. A to the 7th over a to the 2nd is an a to the 5th. And then my b's all come out for that one. So there's my final answer there. Check it with what you got. Okay, let's take a look at this factoring by grouping problem. Okay, now when I factor by grouping, remember that I obviously have 4 terms. So I'm going to underline the first 2 terms, underline the last 2 terms, and factor a GCF out of each one of them. Okay, my GCF out of this one looks like it's a 2x squared. Remember, I'm getting that by saying, okay, 8 divided by 2, 10 divided by 2, and then my smaller power on x is an x squared. So this is going to leave us with a 4x plus 5. My GCF out of the second 2 terms looks like it's a 3, a positive 3. Remember, write a plus there if it's a positive. Divide it out, 4x plus 5. And look at that. Look at my common binomial. I've got a 4x plus 5 as my common binomial, and then the leftover pieces are the 2x squared, and then the plus 3. And that's my answer. Okay. Last one here. I'll move down a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to factor those. Now notice here, for this one, I lead with a negative. And when I lead a negative, you've got to pull out that negative. How do I do that? Well, I write a negative 1 out front, and then I divide each piece by negative 1. So this is going to make it a positive 6x squared plus 11x, and then a minus 10. Now remember what I do with this. I arrow that negative 1 down because I don't want it to just vanish. It needs to be part of my answer. All right, 6 times negative. Now this is a hard type, right? 6 times negative 10. Do the master product. Negative 60. Now I'm finding the factors of negative 60 that add to get to 11. Okay, 60. That's kind of a bigger number, so let's just list them out. 1 times 60. Nope, that's 59. Negative 2 times 30. That's 28, getting smaller. Negative 3 times 20. 17, getting smaller. What about 4? Let's go to our calculator here. 60 divided by 4. There it is. Negative 4 times 15. Those add together to get 11. So I'm going to rewrite 6x squared minus 4x plus 15x, and then our minus 10. And now we factor by grouping. Looks like my GCF is a 2x, which leaves us with a 3x minus 2. And my GCF here is a 5, a positive 5, leaving a 3x minus 2. So now I can come down here to my answer, catch up with the negative 1. I've got a 3x minus 2 as my common binomial. And then my leftover pieces are the 2x and then the plus 5. And there's my solution. Okay, last one here. Looks like I have two terms. I have a binomial, and the only way I know how to factor a binomial is if it's a difference of squares as of this moment. So first off, just check our boxes. Is it a negative sign? Yep. Is 81 a perfect square? Yep. Is x squared? Yep, it's got an even power. 36? Yep. Y squared? Yep. So I can come down here and say, yeah, this is a difference of squares. I'll put a minus and a plus. Again, order doesn't matter there. Square root the 81x squared is a 9x. Square root the 36y squared is a 6y. It's a minus there. And there's my answers. Okay. All right, so there's the warm up. Again, now we're on the quick review. I'm going to go through the quick review questions real quick. If you did get 100% on this, then you can kind of buzz through this portion. But here we are. So I want to talk through these answers here. So first couple should be a pretty easy answers there. Okay, so we got factors of negative 5 that add to get to positive 2. Easy types. Factors of negative 35. Okay, looks like they are negative 5, positive 7. So now a lot of you guys were doing the whole full-blown 4-step process. You don't need to do that. You can just say p minus 5, p plus 7. Same thing here for this one. I want to find factors of 80 that add to get to 18. Oh, 8 times 10. So I can just go straight away to b plus 8, b plus 10. Can you do the whole master product method? Sure, but you're doing way more work than you need to. Okay. Let's take a look at the next two. Okay, this is a hard type. 3 times negative 12 is a negative 36. Factors of negative 36 that add to get to 16. Okay, so that's negative 2 times 18. Negative 2 plus 18 is 16. All right, we rewrite 3t squared minus 2t plus 18t minus 12. I pull out the t, leaving a 3t minus 2. I pull out the, looks like a 6, leaving a 3t minus 2. So now I've got a 3t minus 2 as my common binomial, and my leftovers are the t plus 6. Okay, so this is another one with a negative out front, so I need to pull out a negative 1, leaving me with a positive 5y squared plus 22y plus 8. All right, 5 times 8 is 40, master product, 40. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Negative 1. So 40, and it looks like 1 times 40, nope. 2 times 20, yep. So 5y squared plus 2y plus 20y plus 8. Looks like our only GCF is a y here, leaving me with a 5y plus 2. And I think I can divide by 4 here, leaving a 5y plus 2. So 5y plus 2 is our common binomial. Y plus 4 is my leftovers. Okay, last one here. But it looks like I've got a difference of squares here. I've got two terms. Is it a minus? Yep. Perfect square? Yep. Perfect square? Yep. So now I can go to my two parentheses. One's a plus, one's a minus. Again, the order doesn't matter. Square root x squared, I get x. Square root 9, I get 3. A lot of you give me some funky answers for that one. I was noticing it's just some weird stuff going on. Remember, those should be on the easier side. As soon as you know that it's factorable, you just square root each piece. Okay? All right. So we are here. We did the warm-up. We did the quick review. Now, I want to take a look at some of these. Now, these should actually be a little bit easier now that we've done our warm-up. Taking a look at my first two problems in the warm-up, those are very similar to the first 1, 2, 3 problems on your homework. So if you need to now go back and fix those problems in the review, I would suggest you do that. And then problems 4 and 5 now, those factoring by grouping problems, if you need to go fix those now that we've done problem, what was that problem? 3 from the warm-up, go ahead and do that now too. Okay, now that you've seen another factoring by grouping problem. All right, so now we've kind of talked about our test review there. So now, if you need more to do, some of you guys, if you want to catch up on homework assignments that you've missed along the way, turn those in online, you can do so. But nobody should be sitting around with nothing to do, because you can all grab a coloring sheet if you'd like to. And I told the sub to do that as well. Again, if anybody says that they don't have anything to do and that they're kind of goofing off, I said, okay, give them a coloring sheet and put them to work. Okay. So I will be back tomorrow. And again, our quiz will be on Wednesday. Hope we all have a good day.